I am the knight.
He's the knight. I'm not the knight. I'm the light. Young Justice reference. Hashtag bring back season 3.
Hashtag show's dead.
Hashtag hacktivism. Hashtag slacktivism.
Hashtag petitions never work.
They never do, ever. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And we are the NOLAnerds here with part 2 of our back-to-back triple movie reviews. This one for the latest of a long line of DC animated films.
21st.
Is it?
Yep.
Dang, that's awesome. Batman: Assault on Arkham.
Yeah, this is the first movie to take place in the Arkham video game verse.
But
although honestly, I couldn't tell.
I don't think chronologically it doesn't. It's not canonical. It's not canonical. It just takes place in the universe in the sense that it borrows the aesthetic and the look of all the characters.
So it's a little disingenuous of a statement because when you say it's part of the Arkhamverse, it comes with an expectation, and then you're just like, well, no, not really.
Yeah.
Like we took Poison Ivy's costume. You like that, right?
Yeah. We got Nolan North back to voice the Penguin.
An underrated role of his.
It always is. However, this movie is less a Batman movie as it is the continual push of the Suicide Squad. They're popping up everywhere, whether it's in Arrow, whether it's in Batman Arkham Origins and the Vita handheld Assault on Arkham or Arkham Blackgate. And now this, they're getting a big push. And it's all leading up to this rumor that the team behind Arkham Origins is in fact making a Suicide Squad game.
Kids love Suicide
Squad. I hope so. Suicide Squad game would be awesome. But yeah, this is basically their first animated stab at it, and everyone knows if you just attach Batman to it, you're guaranteed to get more people to try it out. So
it's a fact. Because if you look at the previous sales history, every time there's a non-Superman Batman movie, it tanks.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't matter how good they are, like Wonder Woman's great. Wonder Woman tanked.
Wonder Woman, unfortunately, was also so early on.
So maybe they should have just renamed it Superman Wonder Woman.
Hey.
Or Batman Wonder Woman.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Wonder Woman.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, and then have Batman in there for a second.
Yeah. However, so this is a lot of people's first experience with it, and the team they went with is a mix of old and new, like classic and
modern comics.
Yeah. So we have Batman, voiced once again by Kevin Conroy.
With his weird pupils.
Based on Arkham.
Yeah, that's very unsettling.
There's 2 storylines in this. One, Amanda Waller is voiced once again by the fantastic C.H. Pounder.
CCH Pounder.
God, she's so good in that role.
She's perfect.
And I'm props to DC for bringing back classic The Wall, and not the
not
the
sexy
new 52
Wall.
Sexy for no reason Amanda Waller.
I know, right?
So
that felt really good.
It really did.
When it started up and she's there, I was like, yes.
That's the Waller we deserve and need. But so the main story is her putting together a Suicide Squad to infiltrate Arkham Asylum and take out the Riddler because he has confidential information about the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
So the secondary storyline is that the Joker's hidden a dirty bomb somewhere in the city, and Batman is trying to find that out, and the two obviously coincide. So Kevin Conroy is back as Batman. What's his face? The new Nolan North is back as Joker.
Troy Baker.
Yeah. He's next gen Nolan North. He is everybody now. He is Booker. Yep. He is Joel. He is Joker. He is everything.
Joel.
Yeah. So he's everything. And then we have Neil McDonough doing his very best Commander Shepard as Deadshot.
I was convinced.
We had to look it up because we were like, is that Commander Shepard? Because he needs more work.
I was 100% convinced that was Commander Shepard.
It's totally sounded like him.
Yeah. Hynden Walsh is taking over for...
Wasn't she Starfire?
She is Starfire. Okay. She's taking over for Tara.
Yeah, Tara Strong.
Tara Strong.
As Harley.
Yeah.
So the Suicide
I thought she sounded a little different, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
So the Suicide Squad in this movie is the main 3 of Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and Captain Boomerang, who have always been pivotal characters. This time joined by King Shark.
He's a shark.
He is a shark. Black Spider. Sure. And Killer Frost.
Yep.
Am I missing somebody? Oh, right. KG Beast.
That's the meanest thing they've done. They threw KG Beast in a movie, and then they immediately killed him.
Oh, well, how else are you going to explain to people that the bombs in their necks are for realsies, bro?
I don't know.
I don't even count that as a spoiler because it happens. So
you got a shark there.
Yeah.
A literal human shark.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then the Riddler shows up, and of course the Joker's in it, and we just have good old fashioned,
it's
Batman.
Here's what I would say about this movie. I don't think it's one of the best that they've put out.
I would put it straight in the.
It is
solid
in the middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun watching this. But
it felt longer than the rest.
It definitely felt longer. And I think my biggest criticism is the Joker plotline was unnecessary.
Agreed.
It felt like
he's the Joker was that whole storyline was put in there just because they didn't think Suicide Squad could stand on their own.
Yeah.
So Batman and Joker have to be in it.
Yeah, and it felt forced because like the Suicide Squad had a full length movie, and they said, but wait, haha, Joker's dirty bomb plot.
Done. We've hooked them now, guys. I will say I really enjoyed the Harley Deadshot Joker dynamic.
Yeah,
especially since it felt more true to the comics.
That's a fun dynamic that's been brought up in the New 52, and I like the fact that they brought it in to the mainstream,
also,
so to speak.
I think this rivals Red Hood is one of the most violent of the movies.
Well, this is a unique movie, and it's the first overtly sexual movie, and the most violent. I think we
are following villains who don't have a no-kill code.
I think this might be even more violent than Flashpoint, which was a bloodbath. And then this one, they're mowing down guards left and right.
Right. I think, Flashpoint is more gruesome in its deaths.
Mm-hmm.
This just had a higher body count.
I think so.
And I think it's weird because without giving spoilers away, there are times where Batman literally just watches and allows numerous guard murders and does nothing about it.
That's very
That
troubling.
felt the most disingenuous to me.
That's very troubling.
That's my big gripe with this. Not that the Joker thing was forced, because it gave us a phenomenal Deadshot Joker fight.
Mm-hmm.
That was so.
It was good.
Awesome. But that's my one sticking point.
It's a pretty big sticking point. I mean, I think that you could have trimmed 20 minutes off this movie.
Oh, you could have.
Pretty easily. I think they try to cram a lot of stuff into it, just because it is a Suicide Arkham thing.
And the problem with that is also when you have that many characters, it
just got to cram it in.
So I did like Killer Frost. I thought she was fun.
Well, she was voiced by Jennifer Hale. Always a plus.
That's why I really thought he was male Shepard. I thought it would be really cool that both Commander Shepard.
She's great, and as a result, this Killer Frost, who wasn't really that interesting, became more interesting because of her performance.
King Shark, we love. Unfortunately, my mind flashes to the Gail Simone King Shark, and nothing will ever live up to that.
Yeah, King Shark was kind of a disappointment. He wasn't unique. He just was a generic strong guy with like a metal mouth.
Yeah,
it was kind of a letdown.
Who does that remind me?
Jaws.
Yeah, from
James Bond.
Yeah, okay.
Captain Boomerang was great.
Captain Boomerang was his usual have to prove himself.
He was fantastic, and I love the fact that he was just a little bit off. So when he would show off, he would just fuck up ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
mm-hmm.
This is different.
Okay,
but
we're so bad at that.
Oh well.
But yeah, so and then of course Deadshot is the default leader.
Yeah,
Deadshot's always is rapidly growing as one of my favorites, just because he straddles that line so well.
The only thing I would say about Neil McDonough's performance is that his Deadshot is a little too bland. He doesn't have any kind of verbal spark to it, which is why I thought it was Shepard, because when you're playing the games, Shepard is a blank slate. His dialogue is very to the point. Garrus, get on those cannons.
Right.
It doesn't have any kind of verbal spark, and I hate to compare to previous incarnations, but the guy in the Task Force X episodes.
That's not even fair.
It's not fair, but it's light years better.
I'm looking it up now just because it's so good.
It's great. The only other person on the team, Black Spider. The only issue I have
Michael Rosenbaum. Oh, that makes so much sense now.
Sense. The only issue I have with Black Spider is why not Black Tiger?
Yeah, no, especially since this is an Arkham Universe game, and Bronze Tiger was in the game for the Vita.
Yeah.
So he was already established in that universe. So
and Black,
also you keep calling him Black Tiger.
I know.
It's Bronze Tiger.
I realized that.
Racist.
Black Spider is a legit comics character.
Yeah,
but
he was, and I think they chose him because he was in the New 52 reboot.
Yeah.
He was one of the team.
But he's such a weird choice because when we saw him we're like, oh cool, Bronze Tiger, Black Spider, who? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's a weird choice, I think.
So for the most part, the voice acting was always solid. Having Kevin Conroy as Batman is never going to get tired.
The only issue I have with it is that Batman was almost.
He was a non-factor.
You have very few performances of Kevin Conroy left. Maybe you shouldn't waste them on this.
True.
I mean, there's going to come a point where he's going to just be done.
He's going to be like Mark Hamill.
His voice is going to be wrecked, or something's going to happen. He's going to be done, and we don't want to waste his performance on this 5-minute role.
Yeah, but so the animation was incredible. The
very
action
fluid.
was top notch.
Great.
The storyline involving the Suicide Squad was appropriately Suicide Squad-y, and having CCH Pounder back was a definite plus. So all in all, I think the positives outweigh the negatives, and it sits, like you said, firmly in the middle.
It's acceptable.
Yeah,
for a DC
I would put it above acceptable, but
exceeds expectations.
There you go.
Well, that's not true because it didn't exceed my expectations.
Okay, so it met your expectations.
Yeah,
so it's a B.
It's acceptable.
That's not what acceptable means.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes.
You don't know what acceptable means.
All right.
Anyway,
let's go.
Give it your score.
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay.
The action is really great. It's violent. It's kind of sexy. It's funny. It's not particularly memorable, I think, and I don't know how often you'll go back to the vault to rewatch it, but it's definitely worth a rental.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. I give it an 8. It wasn't stellar. It didn't. It's not going to jump up to my "you have to watch this" DC animated movie thing. When people ask me for my top 10 list of animated movies, which is a show we're doing soon,
it might be like at 10 or 11.
Yeah, if that.
If that.
But that's just if we were talking about DC. Like if we're talking in general, animated comic book movies, I don't think it's going to make the cut. But what would you put it next to? Like, what other movie is in the middle of the pack for you?
Superman Apocalypse.
Yeah, see, it's easy to remember the bad ones and the great ones. Yeah. It's harder to remember the average.
Well, it's also remembering all the movies. I guess it would be like Superman Apocalypse, which was fine.
Yeah. So
anyway. or Superman, Batman, Public Enemies.
I like that one. Basically, you were never too warmed over by the Superman Batman movies. Gotcha. All right, I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And he's wrong about everything, so that's just how it is. Also, he can't do a single review without slipping up, as he's so bad at this. And we're the NOLAnerds, and this has been Batman Assault on Arkham.
Pop. I am the night.